So a couple of days ago, I was wondering, man, what am I gonna make for today's video? And I really didn't know. So I went to our Lord and Savior, Shigeru Miyamoto. I prayed to him and I said, "Oh Lord Shiggy, please, give me a video idea!" And then he gave me an idea. He threw it right at my head and I opened it up. I was like, oh my god, why didn't I think of this earlier? Thank you, Shiggy! So today, we're talking about those times Nintendo puts apps or games onto mobile phones. Mario on the go. Nintendo as a company generally isn't known for outsourcing their IPs to other platforms. They generally like keeping everything close to their chest. As the metaphor always goes, keep your cards close to your chest, lest they be stolen by someone or something. I don't know, I never listened into like history class or whatever. And Nintendo embodies this phrase better than any other gaming company out there. They love keeping their IPs to themselves. If you want to play Mario, you gotta play it on a Switch. If you want to play Zelda, you gotta buy a Switch. You want to play Kirby, you gotta buy a Switch. The only other way you can play these games if you're using an emulator and pirating them or dumping your own ROMs, and if you're dumping your own ROMs, you still have to buy the original copy of the game, which is really annoying. However, there's been some times Nintendo has decided to put some of their stuff onto other platforms. None of their mainline stuff, of course. No. These are complete spin-offs. Spin-offs of spin-offs of spin-offs of spin-offs, in fact. It's spin-offception all the way down if you're playing a Nintendo mobile game. Man, this game... Oh, wow, this game. It is absolutely awful. I hate this. The first ever time Nintendo decided to dip their toes into the market of mobile phones and games and apps on there was with an app called Miitomo. What Miitomo was kind of like a kind of sequel but also spin-off to Tomodachi Life, where you had your Miis and they could interact with other Miis, you could make them say things and do stuff. It wasn't a lot you could really say or do with them, but they could do some things. It wasn't like an amazing app or an amazing game, to be honest, and not many people played it, but it was a step in the right direction if Nintendo wanted to go into this market. It was the first time Nintendo ever really fully outsourced one of their games onto a different platform, especially in modern era. They'd done it a few times, of course, in the older times, but, well, those were the older days, and, well, who's playing on the Philips CDI anymore? So really, this is the first time that Nintendo had in years decided, hey, what if we put our, stuff on a different platform that isn't our own console? And with how Miitomo went, you'd be surprised that they actually did it again, because Miitomo, I mean, it wasn't really what you'd call a major success. Didn't have a whole lot of downloads, not a lot of people even know about the game in the first place, and the servers got shut down eventually. But that is not to be said for this next game, Super Mario Run. A lot of people probably knew about Super Mario Run and somewhat remember it. Super Mario Run was like Mario, but on your iPhone or your Android if you're an Android user. Ew. Honestly, Super Mario Run was the first time Nintendo made a proper, actual, somewhat functioning game on a phone. And it's not the worst game ever. I've played it, and originally it was paid, but I believe now it's fully free, though it might still be paid. You'll have to check that. Realistically, this is a decent-ish game, and it's like kind of a sort of port of New Super U onto a phone. Not a very good port, but it's kind of like a port. New Super U itself is alright, and this is kind of just a worse version of that. Again, it's spin-offs of spin-offs of spin-offs, so you can't really expect much from it. The whole premise of the game is that Mario would automatically run, and you just had to press on the screen to make him jump. It's an okay game. It has some decent levels in it, I guess. There's not too much to be said about it, to be honest. Out of all the games, it's probably the one that most people actually remember, so I guess it's got that rooting for it. However, Animal Crossing also made its way onto mobile phones with Animal Crossing Pocket Camp. Animal Crossing Pocket Camp was an Animal Crossing game on a phone, and it wasn't the worst thing that Nintendo had ever actually done before. As a game, it functioned decently well, and it was pretty much just like Animal Crossing, but a lot less. Originally, you could play it for free on any device, and you could download it, and you could add some microtransactions and stuff in it, and all that. It stayed up for a decent bit of time, actually, and eventually was discontinued in 2024. However, Nintendo, unlike certain other companies that we will not mention right here, they actually allowed you to play and keep playing it. If you want to play Pocket Camp right now, you can, and if you played it before, you could do it still. They created a paid version of Pocket Camp that was completely offline and, well, didn't have any microtransactions in it. It allowed you to transfer all of your save data over from the original Pocket Camp onto it, and it allowed you to keep playing the game and keep the data that you had. This is a really good move from Nintendo, especially now, considering that a lot of people do not like the fact that companies can just shut down online games whenever they want. So Nintendo allowed you to keep playing it just offline, which I can respect. However, on October 31st, 2024, in a Nintendo Direct, Nintendo would announce something absolutely revolutionary! Nintendo Music. Nintendo Music is an app that exists to this day. It's what you can probably guess from the name. Nintendo and the music from its games. Nintendo has had a bit of a history of not liking people re-uploading their music onto sites like YouTube and all, and, well, don't tell them I use it in my videos. I don't want Shiggy coming after me. And so, when they actually announced the full way to actually listen to Nintendo music without playing the games themselves, this was good. It's barely been updated. I mean, it occasionally gets updated. There's a little bit to it. The music that's on there, you've got like some of your more popular ones. You know, you can listen to the Wii menu theme or the Wii Sports theme or whatever this is. It's really not much considering the scope of games Nintendo has. One of the most egregious crimes of this app is the fact that you can't even listen to the music of Mario Kart World on it. Mario Kart World is a great OST for, well, a pretty new game with over 300 songs in it, and all of them are like really good remixes of older Mario songs, and it's just not there. Like, there's so many Nintendo games I would love to see on here. Mario Kart Wii, for example. I'd love to have Mario Kart Wii music on there, or Mario Kart Super Circuit, or literally any of the other Mario Karts apart from like the 3 that they've got on there. There's actually a very small amount of music on there considering the amount of games Nintendo has made, which is weird. They made an entire app solely based around the music from their games because they know people want to listen to it and they don't want it on Spotify or YouTube or anything, but yet they cut out like 90% of the music that people would want to listen to. I know that the original Mario Brothers is a fantastic game and a leap forward in the gaming industry, but do we really need this many NES game soundtracks? I don't think so. All I'm saying is that the Nintendo Music app, well, I like the concept of it, and the idea of being able to have all your Nintendo music right there on your phone is a really good idea. The way they've executed it is just really poor. The amount of music on there is really lackluster, and there's a lot of songs that really should be on there that just aren't for some reason. I really don't know why. Nintendo can be like this sometimes, and it can be really annoying. They'll release something that obviously has a lot of potential and then just half-bake it for some reason because they couldn't be bothered to make it actually good, I guess. But the Nintendo Music app is one of the more modern examples of a Nintendo app, and it's flawed to say the least. But of course, it doesn't just end at Nintendo Music. No, we've also got the Nintendo Switch Online app. The Nintendo Switch Online app, now just I believe the Nintendo Switch app, was an app, or is an app, that exists on phones that you can use to link your Nintendo Switch to your phone. It was pretty simple, to be honest. It allows you to get notifications sent from your Switch to your phone. For example, if you got a friend request or whatever else, see who's playing or something, you can see that on your phone. It also allows you to send videos and pictures from your Nintendo Switch that you've taken of your gameplay over to your phone, and then you can download that to your device and then share that wherever you want. It's a useful feature, I won't lie. It's actually a nice app. I like it. It's formatted relatively well and it works decently. It even at one point had the ability to do voice chat. Yeah. In games like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, you could do voice chat with random people online. I only really learned this when the Switch 2 came out, and I'm pretty sure that's been like removed as a feature, but that's still an interesting feature when it was a thing. The Nintendo Switch app realistically is more of a function app rather than a fun app. Rather than something like Mario Run or Nintendo Music where you use it for leisure, this is more something that you just want to see a notification on your Switch, and it's more for convenience. And it's relatively convenient. Again, you can see your friends list, see notifications, get pictures and stuff, which is the really big one, to be honest. Being able to get pictures and clips sent to your phone from your Switch is a really good thing, and I'm glad that that's a feature they implemented into it. However, as an app, it's pretty basic. It doesn't do too much, it's not too fancy, but it does what it does, and okay, I guess. But that might actually be all the apps we have to speak of today. Nintendo Today! Nintendo Today! The Nintendo Today app! The Nintendo Today app is a Nintendo news app, essentially. You go on there and every single day there's something new on there you can look at. I only ever use this to see if there's a new Direct that day. Come on. Come on. I need the new Mario game. Yes, there's a Direct! Damn it, it's an indie world! The Nintendo Today app pretty much exclusively exists so that you can check for Nintendo events. There are some other things they post on there, and it's different every day. They'll post like random little facts about Nintendo games, small, tiny, helpful kind of almost tips. They're more like loading screen tips. They're not very helpful often. And they'll post things such as concept art for some of their games and all. It's just okay, I guess. There's not too much to it. It's alright. It's a bit boring, to be honest. It has a cool little calendar where it changes the image every single day, so there's that. They'll upload little animations and stuff. They'll recognize games that they will never, like, ever remake, like New Soup 2, Nintendo Please Do It. However, as an app, it's just a news app. Realistically, again, no one's gonna be using this unless they're looking for a Nintendo Direct, which is what I use it for. I'm constantly out to look out for Nintendo Directs. In fact, I was out hunting for one today. Come on. There's gotta be a Direct around here somewhere. There! I found you! What the hell is this? I don't want a partner showcase, Nintendo. I want a general Direct. God damn it. So for Nintendo mobile apps, that's pretty much it. They're not, you know, the most amazing things, but they've done it occasionally, and when they do, it's at least somewhat interesting. The mobile apps can go from having just somewhat useful features like the Switch Online app to being somewhat decent games like Pocket Camp, or right in the middle, thing like Nintendo Music, where it could have been really good and they've just messed it up completely somehow. But yeah, that's the app. So, final verdict? Nintendo, please, I'm begging you. I need a general Direct. I'm gonna go insane. Please, I need one. Please!